A good Shabbos, everyone. A good Erev Shabbos. So we're getting ready for Shabbos Mavorchen. Believe it or not, Shabbos Mavorchen Kislev. Wow. Yes, Zeit läuft, and we have to make sure to use it as best as we can. Like it says, Avram Zakein Baba Yamim. He used every day. He didn't fritter away a day. And utilizing an Erev Shabbos, besides preparing for Shabbos, which is a great mitzvah, learning on Erev Shabbos is especially dear to Hashem because there's less learning in the world on Erev Shabbos. We are sponsored by the Fisher family, Nishmas Basi Bas Rabbi, Shlomo ben Avraham Alevi, Perel Bas Ruvain, Neshama Shelavan Lever, is sponsored by Nishmas David ben Chaim, Lefu Shalem Efer Yomis Mechai Sarah, Yaakov ben Basi Alea, for the schus of Avraham ben Yom ben Ishmael Yudis and family, by Yoel Klugman and family for their Parnosa Gesund and Nachas, and Lefu Shalem for Esther Fadl Bas Chana, Aaron ben Sarah, Nachman Yaakov ben Sarah, Moshe Meir ben Esther Fadl, Victoria ben Rivka, Hinda Bas Chai Sarah, Chana Bas Shashbina, Rivka Bas Shira Leah, Devorah Bas Shashbina, Yitzhak ben Siyam ben Dusha, Meir ben Chai Sarah. They should have a refuah shalema b'seg shachar Yisrael. Now remember, we said tam ke'iker, that if something absorbs the taste of that which is forbidden, it's also forbidden. So gid hanosha shenisbashel im hagidin. If you cooked the sinew of the thigh bone, which is forbidden, together with permitted sinews, bizman shemakirai, if you could recognize which one is the forbidden sinew, you pull it out, then the other ones are only asir if benais and tam, if there's enough to impart a flavor into the other ones. In other words, if it's not batal b'shishin, v'im lav, but if not, kulan, if you can't identify the gid hanasha, then kulan asur, they're all asir, because you might be eating the gid hanasha. Varaitiv, even then, if you can't identify it, but the gravy, benais and tam, it's only asur if it imparts the flavor. So it's true if you, let's say, it's a piece of nevela, an animal, meat that was not slaughtered properly, or a piece of catfish, with other pieces of kosher fish, or other pieces of kosher meat. Bizman shemakirin, if you recognize which is the piece of the catfish and which is the piece of the nevela, you take it out. Then the other pieces are only asur benais and tam, if there's enough to impart flavor in them. Vim lav. But if you don't recognize which piece is the piece of catfish, or which piece is the piece of nevela, then kulan asuras. They're all asur because you might eat the nevela or the catfish. Varaitiv, the gravy is benais and tam. The gravy is forbidden only if there's enough to impart the flavor into the gravy. Now, the gid hanasha, if you didn't know where it was, is not neutralized because it's a barrier. The piece of nevela or the piece of catfish, which is not a barrier, still can't be batal b'raiv because it's a piece that it's something that you would serve a guest, and that's already a davar chashiv, and it can't be batal. Now, noig batahira. As we finish the set in Perek, noig batahira. The gid hanasha is only forbidden in kosher animals, like a sheep, a goat, an ox, a cow, or a deer. Ain't a noig batmeya, but it's not noig by a horse or a camel. Rabbi Yehuda Aimer af batmeya, even by a horse or a camel, is also an issur of gid hanasha. So if you would eat it, you would be over two things for eating non-kosher animal, and also for eating the Gid Anasha. Rabbi Yehuda, and Rabbi Yehuda proves it. V'aloi mibnei Yaakov neser Gid Anasha. It was forbidden to the Bnei Yaakov. This was before Matan Torah. V'adayin behema tmeya mutereslan, and at that time, a horse and a donkey was permitted. So therefore, the Gid Anasha was given even to non-kosher animals. Amrullah, the Rabbanan countered, no. The prohibition of Gid Anasha starts only from Sinai. It just was mentioned in the place of the event. The reason why it became prohibited is because the Malach dislocated Yaakov's sinew of the thigh bone. Amaloi b'Sinai nemar. It was given a prohibition at Sinai. It was written in the place where the reason why it's usher originated. And since it was given at Sinai, it was given only for those animals that a Jew was permitted to eat, and that's only kosher animals. Okay, finish the 7th parak, and I want to point out that that's the majority of Masechtas Chulin. We just started Masechtas Chulin, and it's already 3/4 finished. You know why? Because we learn every day. And when you learn every day, you finish a lot of things. That's a very big lesson. When you're consistent with something, whether it's Chumash, whether it's Mishnayos, whether it's Kitzur Shulchan Aruch, whether it's Mishnah Brura, whether it's Daf Yomi, or Amid Yomi, or Oraisa, but when you're consistent with something, you finish it, Kinyan Masechta, you finish and finish and finish. I want to remind you that if you would like to sponsor one of these shiurim, 718-916-3100, rmmwsi@aol.com. I'd also like to mention to my viewers and listeners that I have now used the services of a gabbai. I have a gabbai now. His name is Reb Gedalia Engel, and he's working on trying to get word out more about my Zoom and about other things. And if you have a list that you think that he could send information about my Zoom broadcasts and my sponsorships and just to send information, he would enjoy getting a list of people that might be interested in my projects. So you could email it to my email, and I'll pass it on to him, rmmwsi@aol.com. And of course, if you want to sponsor a share, text me at 718-916-3100. Thank you. And by the way, I will in the future give Gedalia's number. He's a good place for shiurim, for Skalin residents. Thank you for joining us, and have a wonderful Shabbos.